What would you say? You have a podcast, Heck Off Commie. We'll put a link below to it.
Yes.
What's your mission? What's your hope with that podcast?
I want total communist heck offing. I want all communists to go away, to heck off, to go back to the pits that spawned them, never to bother well-meaning American patriots again.
Okay.
I don't know. No, it's, I don't know. I don't know. I am trying to, I was looking at the way that the media sphere existed and it did not meet my standards. I'm very high maintenance and I thought maybe I could add something to this discussion. Maybe I could take young guys and get them in a direction that is more correct, more virtuous, more disciplined. And if I can do that, then that's great.
Yeah.
And we've been largely successful at that. And so it's
How have you decided that you're successful?
The people I meet.
Yeah. What are they saying?
Oh, it's incredible. I mean, you meet these people and, sometimes they'll have tears in their eyes because you told them something as simple as like, stop watching porn, go to the gym,
Good man.
Be like normal, pick up the Bible. Like I've had so many guys tell me that I was able to, like I did a 2-part series, for example, illustrating the philosophical and practical overlap between Satanism and liberalism and Christianity and conservatism. And that was the first time a lot of guys who started watching my channel because they wanted to hear about why, libtards are silly. But now all of a sudden they're hearing like intelligent Christian commentary. And so maybe I should check this out. So we've brought a lot of guys to Christianity, to Catholicism in particular, because of that. And so the strategy with it has always been understand the conditions of the sphere, cast a very wide net, silly name, Heck Off Commie, black and white intro. This guy's a total dork. Fine. Then I am allowed to exist on the platform. I get the young guys watching and I can pull them kicking and screaming into how they should think about the world. And it's been very successful. We've had a lot of guys go on, they move on and they end up working in politics, working with local community organizations and just doing great things. And it's not because of me, but I consider myself the toy maker. My job is not to make content that, you can nod along to every day and be like, oh, so true. The people I disagree with are so stupid or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's to take young men and pick them up, you just wind them up and you just set them off. And where they go is so beautiful. Who knows if they go that way or this way, but where they're going is somewhere more positive. And it's because you gave them those seeds, that information that they needed to sort of correct their path in life. And then they go and they do something great. There was a friend of mine who's actually a speechwriter for Trump who told me he was teaching at Duke University for a while in the poli-sci department. And he said that he arrived at a sobering conclusion, but it was ultimately inspiring, where he said that you have to kind of be comfortable with maybe the fact that you won't necessarily yourself do something great one day, but you can sort of through butterfly effect influence somebody who maybe will. And so I see little instances of that where someone will reach out to me and they're in a position that's very good, maybe even better than my position as an internet bigot, where they're now doing something great and they're moving the ball down the field and they say, hey, because I saw this video, it's like I can kind of think of that as like a micro win for myself. And that really is what motivates me. Initially, it was because I wanted to like dunk on everyone I went to high school with who were like, liberals and didn't like me. And I was like, oh yeah, well, remember all those things you used to say about me? Well, now I do it for a living and just like get owned. But now it's much more like the people I meet at these events, you'll have like, I'll give like 24 hours notice. It's some random part in the country. Like we did one a few months ago in like some city in northern Georgia, not even like at a political conference, not even in like, a big city, just some random organization that invites me. I'll post on my Instagram, hey, I'm going to speak here tomorrow. And I'll get a room of like 100 guys. It's like, this is cool. This is power. Like this is what it looks like. It's these instances and they add up and we can get guys going in a good direction because you asked me what my most offensive opinion is. This isn't offensive. It's just true. History has only changed when a group of guys decide that it's time for that to happen. And I think that's why, like we said, with tobacco, male organizations, there has been such an effort to destroy those because whoever is in charge, they enjoy their power. And power obviously is going to destroy anything that challenges it. And I think young men getting together, being allowed to exercise male behavior, just being themselves, boys being boys, when that happens, things tend to happen. That is when history changes. That is when real serious events occur that could make the country and everyone's life better. And so insofar as I can facilitate that or encourage that in any capacity, like that's my job.
Yeah, I had Andrew Willard-Jones here the other day and he said the beautiful thing about communities is you can't be gaslit. Like if you have this small group of men who care for each other and are bettering themselves. When someone starts speaking lies, it's like, no, we all that's wrong, right? That's crazy. Good, okay.
Yeah. That's the importance of being able to call each other gay too.
Okay.
That has been stripped away from young men. It's making a comeback, but the ability of men to call each other gay, that's a way of checking and regulating male behavior. It doesn't mean that you're a homosexual. It doesn't mean that you're a bad person. You're just doing something that all the other guys in the community understand is weird or wrong.
Yeah.
Stop being gay. And you're like, oh, excuse me. And then you act normally. And now, like when I was growing up, if you said that, you would have to go speak to the school guidance counselor about how this is not inclusive language. And it's like, does that guidance counselor have some evil plot where they're like, haha, now they're going to grow up and they're not going to be properly masculine? No, but I'm sure that somebody at some point is like enjoying that is a byproduct of that.
I see.
That men no longer have the tools to articulate how they ought to behave, the sort of instinct where it's like, you're doing something wrong. Stop being gay.
Yes.
Now you can't say that. And it's like...
Yeah, well, you're right. It is coming back. I wonder why that's the case. Maybe it's because... the elites in the establishment aren't so interested in quote unquote gay rights anymore. They've moved on to other things that are more and more insane.
Yes, they left their flank open and now we're coming back and we're taking back the power of the word gay.
Well, I love that you're seeking to better the lives of men because, of course, it's easy to sit back and sneer at people, think you're better than them, criticize from a distance. But we do live in this soft environment where it's very conducive to becoming, as you say, just sort of fat and useless and addicted. And what the only control I have, or the primary control I have, is to better myself through prayer, through the sacraments, through trying to better my body, trying to be a better husband, trying to be a better friend, apologizing when I screw up. Like, I can't control who wins the next election. I'm like somebody said, your vote is like a flea hanging on the hair of a donkey or a horse, and you're trying to prevent it, pull it from the cliff it's about to gallop over. But the things that I do have control of is I want to be a good man. I want to be a good husband. I really want to love my wife well. I want to take my kids seriously. I want to apologize when I screw up. Like these are things we can do. And it's difficult to do that in an environment with, as we just said, Uber Eats, Pornhub, etc.
Yeah, it's a completely just disgusting and isolated lifestyle, and nobody enjoys it either.
Yeah.
But it's almost like there's a temporary discomfort in pursuing the alternative, pursuing something that's better. So they would rather just sit back and order the Uber Eats, the drive-through food at like 300% markup and just get high and whatever. Like the only socialization they get is like going to work, maybe if they're not working remote. And we left the cigar lounge last night. I was like, this is awesome. You guys have like a social club. Because I was it is a cigar lounge. Anybody can come from the street and come in and smoke, but it's yours. You go in there and it's the same rotation of guys and they understand like this is sort of it reminds me, have you seen A Bronx Tale? It was a great, forgotten about though, but a great like sort of mob movie from the 1990s. I think Brian De Palma maybe. But there's a scene where the guy is growing up in an Italian neighborhood and he and his buddies, they finally get their own social club. And it's, they got a little building, you can get drinks, you can get cigars, whatever. But the reason they got it is because it's a third place. Yeah. It's not home, it's not work. They can just sit outside and hang out, smoke cigarettes, do whatever. And it's like, you need to have that. You need the third place. And Thursday said that. That's what I was thinking of was that vocab term. And he was like, yeah, it's a third place. And I was like, we understand. We understand the necessity of these sort of social institutions.
Hey, thank you so much for watching. Before you go, do us a favor, leave a comment, let us know what you thought of the video, like, and subscribe.